are always judging everyone by what they can see on the outside. But I want you to take a minute and realize that what you see on the outside is not the entire story. Most people believe that when I was growing up from Asbury Park, New Jersey, people believe that you would say, quote unquote, I grew up in the hood. But I grew up and I believed that everyone living in my complex was my village. How many of you know it takes a village to raise a child? And each and every one of them was a part of who I am today. I want to take you briefly for you to reflect back on a childhood moment where you were excited, where you were happy, and everything was going great, and you were outside playing with your friends in your neighborhood. Whether you were riding a bike, jumping hopscotch, playing hide and seek, or you were playing my favorite, double dutch. But now remember, your parents had one rule. Be in before the street lights come on. How many of you have parents like mine? Yes. And so when I would come home from school, I would be sitting in my third floor apartment window, watching out the window daily after I did all my homework, watching the girls outside jumping double dutch. Now I was watching, but I wasn't interacting. So one day I decided, okay, you know what, enough is watching out the window. I went downstairs on the stoop and started watching up close and personal. Why? Because I was excited, because what they did looked like it was fun and it was interesting, but it also looked scary. So when I went outside, I watched for a while, and then one day, I got enough courage to ask if I could jump rope too. So of course the young ladies were like, yes, come on, you can jump, but I was scared. I was so terrified. I said, no, I'm gonna get out. They said, it's okay, just jump. So I stood there for a while, because just like you, most of the time, you were afraid to do something, and that you stood on the sidelines watching someone else do it, and you did not do it because you were afraid of what it would look like if you got out or if you failed. But I decided to get enough courage one day. When they said, yes, you can jump, I said, okay. So they said, come on. So they were turning the rope. And I was bouncing back and forth, back and forth. Every turn that they turned seemed like the fear of I'm going to get out, the fear of failure, the fear of being embarrassed, the fear of them laughing, but they kept assuring me while they were cheering me on, I was counting myself out. I kept on saying, no, I'm not going to jump, but I still kept bouncing. Now let me tell you, I looked cute that day like I do today, y'all, but I was only bouncing. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't having action to the bounce. But then I jumped in and I got out. But I jumped in again and I got out. But I jumped in again and I got out. And then after doing it several times with them, several different days, several times going outside playing, I got my rhythm. So now I thought I was the bomb, because I thought I was the double dutch queen. Now how do I go from watching in the window to thinking I had it all figured out? But see, what we do is we start bouncing on ourselves in life without confidence, because we're not sure. We're not confident enough to say that we're going to take that risk. Well, I want to encourage you today to take the risk. Jump in, because while you are bouncing, I want to give you an analogy, because how many of you actually jumped double dutch before? Because men and women jump double dutch, believe it or not. How many of you loved playing double dutch? How many of you did not like being the turner, but you always wanted to jump? That was me. I never turned. I don't even know how to turn for double dutch, but I bet you I know how to jump. So I want you to pretend there's two people up here with me and they're turning the rope. And this is your life. Keep in mind, the rope turning is your life. And you are me. And the ropes are turning and you're bouncing and you're saying, I am going to write the book. I am going to start the business. I'm going to apply for the promotion. I'm going to believe I have all it takes. I'm going to believe I have the skills to do what's necessary. But you bouncing, you ain't take no action, but you steady saying I'm going to. But if I could just get a degree, if I could just show up, and if my boss would like me more, I might get the promotion. If I could write one more chapter, I might can finish the book. There's a lot of if. Sounds familiar, right? In your life, are you ifing your way through what's next? Instead of walking boldly and showing up in your life, stop asking for permission and show up boldly. Because confidence isn't built in comfort. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone to be able to step into your confidence zone. You're going to have to stop looking at everyone else and what they're doing, because the social media gives you a great highlight reel, but it's like I said, it's a reel. It's not all real. You get what people want you to get. You start comparing what you think you should be, but remember I said you judge from what's on the outside, but you don't know my story. See, you don't know the people's story that you are watching. You should only be focused on what's your story. What's your next? What's your biggest dreams? See, when you were young, you had big dreams, right? Big dreams. When you were young, you were bold, you were confident. When you were young, you believed you could do anything. And then life started happening. You started waiting for others to give you permission for you to celebrate yourself. You ought to celebrate yourself every day that you wake up. You ought to pat yourself on the back. I already celebrated myself before I came up here and got on this red carpet. You ought to be willing to celebrate you too. Because I want to remind you about a great man who always celebrated himself, Muhammad Ali. He didn't wait for the title. He didn't wait for the belt. And he didn't wait for the people in the audience to applaud him. Before he got in the ring, he declared, the champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. How many of you believe you're a champion? See, we got to start believing that. I'm going to count to 3, and I want us to say together, I am a champion. Because I believe you have to say it to believe it. Because me telling you a champion don't mean you believe you're a champion, right? So let's go. 1, 2, 3. I am a champion. Yes, you have to believe it. You are a champion. And everything that you do is on the inside of you. You have to trust in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And you have to be willing to take risk, even if you fail. You have to stop counting failures as failures and start counting them as wins. Every time you fail, you won. Why? Because you learned something that you didn't know before. Every time you fail, you get better. Why? Because you learn something that you can now take and put in your arsenal to become what? A better entrepreneur, a better teacher, a better lawyer, a better doctor, whatever your field is, a better CEO. Why? Because you were willing to take the risk to fail. But here's what I know for most people. Not like Muhammad Ali, because he was already declaring the champ is here. When we fail, we get down low and we start wallowing in our pity of failure. We stay down here way too long. Way too long. We're fighting everything that's taking place. We're wondering if we should move on. We're wondering if we've gone too far. We're wondering like, okay, if I fail, I don't want to fail forward every single time. Because remember, when you fall, arise. Because when you get back up, you're stronger than you were before you fell. But most of us get stuck down in our failure. Les Brown says it best. If you fail, if you can look up, surely you can get back up. The goal is for you to look up so you can rise again, because when you do, you're stronger than before you fell. So you got to stop pouncing on the sidelines of your life. You got to get in and jump all in. See, I came from the window looking out while they were jumping, to now the woman you see here today who has traveled the world speaking on global stages, written several books, graced the covers of magazines, come on, coached women around the world, helped women write and publish books, and now I'm standing right here today on this red carpet. Why? Because I got out of the window when I was that young girl and started believing in me, and I placed all bets on me. Now, I'm not sharing that to brag to you about it. I'm testifying, because if you can see it in me, you can believe it in you. So if you know it's possible for me, it is definitely possible for you. But only if you're willing to stop bouncing, because you can't discover your rhythm in the bounce. Your rhythm is created when you jump all in, because your confidence will be built. You will fail, but if you stop waiting on everybody else to applaud, you start celebrating everything that you do and that you accomplish, greatness is on the horizon. But you have to believe in you. So I'm asking you a question. Are you going to jump in? I should have been hearing, yes, I'm jumping all in. I'm going to say it again. Are you going to jump in? Yes. Yes. Because you're jumping in for your life, not for mine. So we got to be willing to make sure that everything we have planned, we have prepared, we have positioned ourselves to take ownership of what life has to offer us, and we create the life that we desire, and we make sure that in that life, you heard the other TED Talk say, in that life, you have to remember to keep you first. You have to remember to keep yourself as a priority. So one more thing and one more question, and I want you to really ponder this question. If not you, then who? I'm going to ask it one more time. If not you, then who? Stop letting everybody else be the who except for you. Your greatness is waiting for you to come to the edge, take the jump, and don't look back. Remember, it's all up to you. And Muhammad Ali said it best, and don't you ever forget it. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. Arise, champion. Thank you.